Basketball fans, welcome into a very special episode of The Hangout, coming to you from the home of the best chicken adobo in all of Montreal. We're a junior restaurant, and we have some very special guests. I'm going to introduce you to Peter Yiannopoulos, a contributor to RDS and TSN, and my good friend, man. Thank you for joining us here
Always
today.
a pleasure, Gil. Thanks for having me.
All right, and then Dwight Walton, a member of the Canadian national team at a point, and now a contributor for TSN out here in Montreal. Thank you for coming out, man.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and the ebony to my ivory. Did you guys call each other about these shirts? Because Dan Gladman, you guys...
There was a memo in French earlier today.
Surprised you understood it.
I didn't. I didn't understand. I had to have it translated on
All
Google.
right, Hangout means basketball. Basketball means the NBA. And right now, Cavs are one of the top teams in the NBA, and they made some news last week. Tristan Thompson's holdout is over. The battle that raged on all summer ended, and I want to know, he got his $82 million contract, the Cavs got their power forward. Who won this battle, Peter?
I think it's both parties won. And
Both
usually
parties?
one
I
or
need
the
to pick
other.
a side.
I'm going to tell you, Tristan Thompson won. My man
That extra
got
$2 million.
5 years, he got $82 million after his performance last year in the NBA Finals, 2 games from winning an NBA championship.
2 bad games.
What he did in terms of the rebounding, in terms of defensively, the relentlessness that he gave, the second chance opportunities, his agent is LeBron James' agent. So that's what we're talking about, leverage. So at the end of the day, I think that Tristan Thompson got his money, but at the same time, Cleveland needed to have Tristan Thompson in the lineup for their quest to get back to the finals and try and win an NBA
So you don't
championship.
think that price tag's too high, anyone here, for a guy who's going to come off your bench and be exclusively a rebounder?
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to compare Tristan Thompson to somebody in the NBA,
Yep.
John Henson's name came up, power forward for the
Who
Milwaukee
just got
Bucks.
re-upped last year?
At 4 years, $44 million, right? If you look at their numbers and statistics together, they're very comparable. But in terms of importance to a team, Tristan Thompson is very, very important.
Because Milwaukee has no chance of winning
Well, they're going to be much improved, but they're not going to be a championship contender. Let's be real about that. But
Yep.
Tristan Thompson is very important. Rich Paul wanted his client to get paid, didn't get the amount of money that he wanted him to get, but Tristan Thompson, $82 million for 5 years. I think he won in this deal, no question about that.
You know how in baseball or in basketball when there's a trade and everybody wants to say who won it that day, and a lot of the wise people will say, let's wait, let's look down the road.
Is that what you're going to play the wise old man?
I am going to say that in this deal because the whole infrastructure of the economy of the NBA is changing in 1 year. This could be seen as a bargain in 3
a
years.
couple years.
And that's why Rich
I
Paul and
disagree.
Tristan
It's
Thompson
good.
were holding out in the
It's
first
good.
place.
I disagree. The winner has to be Tristan Thompson, because you know the numbers.
Yes.
What was put on the table
He
last
wanted
year?
more.
But hold on, listen, Tristan Thompson bet on
was
himself.
4
4
years?
years, $52 million.
And now what's he getting? 5 years, $82 million.
He was offered 5 at 80,
For 80?
at the beginning of the summer. They turned that down. He gets $2 million more. What was, I think, the whole stalemate in the whole negotiations, if you want to keep it real here, was that the initial contract offer wasn't fully guaranteed. This
one.
contract is fully guaranteed.
So
He's
with
getting
that-
all $82 million.
So
he
with that
wins.
said,
Yeah.
is the real winner Rich Paul here, and how impressed are you with his ability to have his players sit out camp and everyone say this is an absolutely insane move you're doing with this young player,
You're saying some
and
of
then
that,
get the money?
some of
end
that
of the day,
original
guys.
money wasn't guaranteed?
It wasn't guaranteed at the beginning.
At
That's
the end
why.
of the day, Tristan Thompson's career averages 10 points,
Yeah.
8 rebounds a game.
Absolutely.
My man got $82 million.
He wins.
But to Dan's point, this contract, people think, does he deserve it? Most players don't deserve the money they're getting in the NBA today. But
I
it's
hope the
what the
players aren't watching
market,
this show
it's
right
what
now.
the market is dictating. Next year, there's going to be an influx of the salary cap
Yeah.
going up
The
30%,
market's gonna be totally
and you're going to
different.
see players getting astronomical numbers, probably $20 to $25 million.
Akil,
How about your boy Boogie Cousins?
Hold on,
he wasn't happy
now.
with that $82
Before
million.
you go on, it's like my man Derek Coleman said way back in the day.
Oh, snap.
It's not how much you're worth, it's how much you can negotiate.
Okay.
And that's what happened here. He got the money. Rich Paul wanted $94 million. I think $82 million is a pretty decent compromise in
Was
this
that him
situation.
going to the
I don't think
NBA or
it's a compromise.
Syracuse?
Good question.
I'm
Good
not sure
point,
it's a compromise,
Dan.
but
Absolutely.
I wanted to throw this one out earlier. If your son was going into the NBA this year, would you let him choose Rich Paul as an agent?
Absolutely. 82 million, plus he's friends with LeBron. Let's go.
Listen, Rich Paul could be my agent any day of the week because he wants his client to get paid. And at the end of the day, Tristan
By
Thompson
hook or by
got
crook,
paid.
however it gets done, Rich Paul did his job.
Get paid.
And kudos to
He's
him.
my agent now when I renegotiate with
you
you
go.
to be on this show.
He got Eric Bledsoe some good money, too.
Dan's not coming back next week. The price is too
Rich
high.
Paul of line Wanakil.
Let's talk about something else, okay? We talk about agents, let's talk about GMs. The GMs of the NBA got together, of course, via email and got together and put their list of their favorites for championship, their favorites for defensive player, and their favorites for MVP. Let's talk about this championship, though. 53% have voted for the Cleveland Cavaliers to walk away with the Larry O'Brien Trophy commissioned by Tiffany's. Are we all agreeing that the Cavs are pretty much the favorite now that they've locked up Tristan and
Yes.
they anticipate having a healthy Kyrie Irving?
Yes, they are the favorite. Part of it is because they play in the quote-unquote weaker conference.
The least third conference?
So they will have an easier road, per se, to get to the championship. But as long as the Cavaliers are healthy, I believe they have the best roster in the NBA, top to bottom.
Dan, you predicted the correct champion.
In the NBA?
Yes, in the
Are you
NBA.
kidding me, Dwight?
No
First
question
of
about
all,
it. You know why?
There's no road in the Eastern
As
Conference.
long-
It's Cleveland's
As
title
long as
to get
LeBron
there.
James is on that roster, they have the best roster in the
I
NBA.
think, guys,
That's how I
if
feel.
Cleveland was in the Western Conference, I think the NBA general manager would have changed their voting percentage to 53%. It would have been significantly lower.
Okay.
Because when we're talking
I agree
about
with
the
that.
Western Conference, we got the defending NBA champions Golden State
Yep.
Warriors. You got the Spurs. You got
Yep.
OKC.
Yep.
You got the
Throw
Clippers.
Memphis in there.
Right? So and then you got the Memphis and you got Houston. Those 6 teams,
put
I'll
them in
take
there.
them over Cleveland. With all due respect to
No,
LeBron.
you're not going to take Memphis and Houston over
I wouldn't take
Cleveland.
Memphis,
Not a chance.
but Houston
Not
may
a
be
chance.
neck and neck with them.
Everything is lined up for Cleveland to be the champion this year. You said it earlier, Peter. 2 games away from winning the title last year without
Kevin Love
and without Kyrie
Yes.
Irving. If they are in a perfect position, the stars are aligning for the Cavs to win it
hold
this
on,
year.
wait, stars are aligning. Let's talk about stars aligning. Tim Duncan and LaMarcus Aldridge are in the front court for the San Antonio Spurs. 25% of the GMs think they're going to win.
But the question is, can they play together in the playoffs? When teams go small, who is Greg Popovich going to sub out at the end of the game? We already know he has no issues taking Duncan out of the game 2 years ago. 17 rebounds in Game 6. They're about to win an NBA championship.
That's a great point that I hadn't heard yet. But I will say
So-
one thing that I do like about Greg Popovich. He makes you adjust, as opposed to you making him adjust, and that's usually a sign of a winning team.
Well, the
What I
Clippers
would love to
adjusted and
see,
beat
what
them
I would
last
love
year.
to see if the Warriors and Spurs face off in the playoffs, and then Popovich goes Aldridge and Duncan, and Steve Kerr, or if Coach Walton is gonna still be coaching the team,
Right.
he's gonna go with Harrison Barnes and Draymond Green
Right.
at the 4-5. Small ball versus big ball. But I think that's a luxury that the Spurs have. But again, to the original question, I think that the Western Conference, especially those big 4, Spurs, Golden State, OKC, and the Clippers, I think any of those 4 teams definitely are more talented than the Cleveland Cavaliers,
No one
who
giving-
are injury prone every
Is
single
no
season.
one giving the Golden State Warriors a chance to repeat?
I don't think they will, because I'll be honest. My opinion, I think if Kyrie Irving plays in the finals last year, they beat the Golden State Warriors in the finals.
And with that said, we got to go to break.
Are you Doc Rivers? You talking about Doc Rivers?
Yeah,
Hey, listen,
pretty much.
Still more to come here. Canada's home for hoops. When we return on the other side of the break, we got to ask you, which one of your Toronto Raptors will be on the court at the ACC at the 2016 All-Star Game? Hell!